if you are watching me live right now, gee, how you do that, man? How you do that there? If you are watching me live right now, thank you. The Geno Jones Show welcomes a new sponsor, so maybe you didn't hear what I said earlier. So I want to welcome Courtney Johnson, Kojo LLC, brand new sponsor of the Geno Jones Show. She's going to debut, Courtney Johnson's going to debut a new segment called Courtney's Corner on Thursday. If you're watching me live right now, she's going to do that on tomorrow. Yes, she is a real estate expert, insurance expert, so any questions about real estate or insurance, she can answer those questions. Tomorrow, it'll probably be just sharing her origin story. So thank you. Kojo LLC, new sponsor. Anyone else that would love to be a sponsor, love to advertise, I'd be honored to have you as part of the Geno Jones Show family. Let me help you grow your business, and we can grow together. Shoot me an email, genojonesshow@gmail.com. genojonesshow@gmail.com, and I'll get you all the sponsorship information, advertising information packages, all of that. And come on, let's be family. Love to have you as part of the Geno Jones Show family. Let's do that. We can definitely make that happen. Oh, by the way, and thank you for those who have supported the show financially. Thank you. It's so important that we support all of our Black-owned institutions and businesses, especially Black-owned media, because now these folks are just showing us they don't want to be bothered with us. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. So it's so important that we support all of our Black-owned media. So if you would like to support the show financially in the form of a gift or a donation, a contribution, a love offering, or a Bless Up Brothers business, we can do all that. You can Zelle, use my email address, genojonesshow@gmail.com. Geno Jones, that's how you spell Geno Jones, genojonesshow@gmail.com. You can Zelle your contribution or your gift, or you can Cash App, $Dad G Jones, all one word. $, capital D, lowercase a, lowercase d, capital G, capital J, lowercase O-N-E-S. So the only caps, the first D and the G and the J, everything else is lowercase. $, Dad G Jones on Cash App. No amounts too small or too large. $5, 500,000, $5 billion. We'll take it all. All right, so let's get into the show today. I got a lot to talk about. Oh, by the way, the show is interactive. That means if you're watching me live right now, please, you can join the conversation. Jump in my chat room. Do that, okay? Real simple. If you got a question or comment, you want me to shout you out, it's your birthday, somebody, friend, family, spouse, lover, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, co-worker, sorority sister, frat brother, whatever. You got a question, you got a comment, you want to have a conversation, we can do that. Live chat room when I am on camera. By the way, please leave your comments in the comment section so you can jump in the chat room and give me, join the conversation or start one. But if you got a comment, make sure that you share your comment, not just in my live chat room, but in the comment section below. You'll see that right there. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. So, you know what? All right, I want to do this because I want to make a detour here. Because I saw this today and I was alarmed because earlier I was talking about how important it is to support Black-owned businesses. It is really so important. So I don't know if you heard, B.E.T. has announced that they are suspending doing the Soul Train Awards and the B.E.T.Hip Awards indefinitely. Now, B.E.T. is owned by Paramount, CBS, but the parent company is Paramount. Paramount was sold for $8.4 billion to a company called Skydance Media. So the CEO is this 42-year-old guy named David Ellison. His dad is Larry Ellison, who founded Oracle, who's a multi-billionaire. Now, Mr. David Ellison, allegedly, and I've read in some places that Mr. David Ellison is a supporter of Orange Hitler. And he's announced, now David Ellison has publicly announced that he and this company, so what is CBS and what Paramount owns, which is CBS, just the entire CBS network, B.E.T., VH1, MTV, Comedy Central, and I think I'm leaving one out. So this new company, Skydance Media, that bought Paramount, that owned, like I said, everything from CBS to BET to VH1 to MTV, all of that, just bought it outright. So David Ellison has announced, the CEO of Skydance Media now, he's head over BET. He's announced he is abandoning all diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. You got that? What does that mean? So are you going to abandon BET? Maybe sell it. Since you are abandoning all diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, in your eyes, hell, the whole network is diversity, equity, and inclusion. So I don't know why you would even want BET and BET. Let's see, you got B.E.T.Her, B.E.T. Plus, which is an online platform. But I digress. That is why I have been saying that we are all we got. But the truth is, we are all we need, and we got everything that we need. We don't need Skydance. We don't need CBS, or former Paramount, which will be Skydance, I guess, officially in a week or two. We don't need Disney, that owns ABC and ESPN, and now ESPN bought Disney, in essence, bought the NFL Network, because Disney owns ABC and ESPN. You see what's happening? There's a guy, Corley, ESPN reporter, really talented brother. I don't know if it was Harley. His last name starts with an H. Corley is his first name. Anyway, very talented reporter. He was online talking about how his contract wasn't renewed. They hired somebody that's on YouTube, somebody that has a show or platform on YouTube that has like over 1 million, I guess, subscribers or something like that. Over a brother that's got the receipts, that's got the training, the education, the experience, great videotape, video resume. It is clear. Look at what happened to Don Lemon, CNN. My girl Joy Reid. It is clear. Following the dictate of Orange Hitler, diversity, equity, and inclusion is bad. Oh, so that means having black people anywhere involved in your company. Because when you say that you are abandoning diversity, equity, and inclusion, so what's the common sense tells me what's the opposite of diversity? Non-diversity. We don't want any diversity. We want a homogeneous, basically, without black folks. I was trying to make sure I got that word right. Homogeneous. Something's homogeneous, genus. Anyway, they want like a homogeneous translation. They really don't want black folks around. We don't want to compete with black folks. We don't like you. We just don't like your energy and your brilliance is either intimidating or we are envy or jealous of it. And all that plays into this white nationalism ideology, this global. But when you see a white nationalist sitting at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and when he talks about the diversity, any form of diversity, equity, and inclusion is bad. And then you've got a lot of these companies, this bending over, bowing the knee, or just completely bending over and taking it up to you-know-what to kiss this dude's ass. So Once again, we are all we got. From this current orange Hitler white nationalist government to all these major corporations, including the corporation that purchased Paramount, which is all the movie studios, Paramount Movies, CBS, BET, VH1, Comedy Central. And not so many other companies have gone on the record saying that we are abandoning or getting rid of all of our diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. You want to get rid of all your diversity and inclusion and equity. So you don't want black people, you don't want people of color, brown people, Afro-Latinos. Now, if it's some Hispanic folks that can speak English and look white, then they're okay until you find out that they're not this made-up con game called whiteness and race. It doesn't exist in science. It doesn't exist in biology. It does not exist in the human genome. There's no whiteness. There's no DNA test, like I said, that's going to come back and say, well, let's hold on. Let's get the paper here. Let's see. Oh, your DNA hit like what, Maury Povich. Yes, your test results are back, and you are 85% white. Nah, it don't work that way. It'll come back and say maybe your ancestry, you have DNA ancestry from Scotland or Ireland or Great Britain, somewhere in Europe, Eastern European, Russian, Croatian, Ukrainian, from France, Germany, from maybe Amsterdam, which is the Netherlands. There we go. Because you got Sweden, Finland, all of that. Or China, or India, or somewhere from the continent of Africa, anywhere from, it could be from Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Egypt, Morocco. I could go on and on and on. Yeah, DNA tests will tell you that. What percentage of your DNA, of your ancestry is from those regions of the world? It's not going to come back and talk about you are 92% white. It's not going to say what percentage you are black. It will speak to whatever African heritage or European heritage or Asia, be it China, Korea, the Philippines, anywhere in that region. But it's not going to come back. Nepal, no. Once again, this concept of whiteness was created in the 1680s by a small handful of very wealthy, kind of like the billionaires now, wealthy Europeans who wanted to pit the poor working class Europeans that they call peasants against people of color and to get people who were not part of this upper class, this 1%, sound familiar? These Europeans created this whole they call it a construct. That means it was built, constructed. It is a powered system. It is a system rooted in social, economic, and political power. And this concept of whiteness was created so a small handful of people could control all the social, all the economic, all the political power by pitting those who were not at the very top economically, social status, political power. Many back in the day was like monarchies. They didn't want to be bothered. Europeans were peasants. They emptied the prisons over in England and sent folks to a whole island and created a whole new country, Australia. And many of these Europeans that came to America were either criminals, had a criminal record, or were looked upon as like peasants. Now you had your founding fathers, but they all had money and they were not religious men. The majority of Europeans they weren't enslavers because they didn't have the wealth. The original Constitution only said, it stated, the only people who could even vote were wealthy white male landowners, wealthy white men. And it said blacks were not even full humans, 3/5 of a human in the original Constitution. And in that original Constitution, I'll give you $10,000 for every time you see the word woman in the original Constitution. But you'll be broke, because they never mentioned women or a woman one time. They didn't mention Hispanic, Latino. They didn't mention French or German, or maybe, like I said, from the Netherlands or Belgium or Russia or Ukraine, should say. None of that. Wealthy white male landowners. So this whole system, constructive race, was created to pit us against each other. MAGA cult, y'all gonna figure it out. Now y'all really gonna figure it out, because the people that you worship, your orange Lord and Savior, who I heard Senator Tim Scott, who's from South Carolina, basically say that God chose Donald Trump. You know, people tried to assassinate him twice. And God put a calling on special time. Well, you know, my mother taught me, and I know she's watching me right now. My mother taught me that, you know, God is not the only one that can bless you. She said the devil can bless you too. Satan can bless you. So be careful with that. Make sure that you know where your blessing is coming from. So, go back to the beginning. Once again, here we are. Company, Skydance, bought the whole Paramount CBS company conglomeration, which also owned B.E.T. and B.E.T.Hip and the B.E.T. like All Music Channel and MTV and VH1 and Comedy Central. And then they had a young looking brother who's like the CEO of B.E.T. make the announcement. Well, you know, because low ratings. Now, what he didn't say, since we're going to talk about low ratings, that all TV, not just the Soul Train Music Awards or the B.E.T.Hip Awards, all TV awards show, all of them, the CMAs, you name it, the American Music Awards, Billboard Awards, all TV award shows have seen a 30% drop in viewers over the last 10 years, since 2015. So it's not like it's just BET. Now, CBS, they carry the Grammys. I didn't hear him say, well, you know, the Grammys, we're going to suspend indefinitely showing the Grammys. Nope. Not yet. Now, I'm sure Orange Hitler would prefer that they suspend the Grammys, because they're not fucking with him. But the point I'm trying to make is that we are all we got. Especially as a culture, as black people in America, people of color, Afro-Latinos, who embrace and lean into the African part of their heritage. I don't know, that can be tricky too. That's another conversation. And not just here in America, but all throughout the Caribbean, in Brazil, in South America, and back on the motherland continent of Africa. We are all we got. But we are all we need. And we have everything, we've got everything we need. We come together like the Black Avengers. So we don't need Skydance Media, formerly Paramount, CBS. Fine, y'all don't want to show the Soul Train Awards? You know, we got platforms, we can do this, okay? Because you all don't have the talent. We got the talent. In front of the camera, behind the camera, and as performers. We can do this for ourselves. Y'all gonna watch anyway. Y'all gonna watch, and some of y'all gonna spend money because you want that audience and you want that black dollar, which in America controls over $2 trillion a year in spending power. Over 2 trillion with a T. That's a lot of money. And even some of these hardcore races, now they'll probably get a black face. They won't let you know. Oh, but they want our money. They don't want you. They don't want diversity, equity, and inclusion, but they want diverse money. They don't want the diversity in their employment or in their companies, in their hiring practices or in employment in general. They don't want the diversity. They don't want the diversity. Not only do they not want the diversity, they don't want the equity, they don't want the inclusion, but they want to include your money. They want to include my money, our money, which is really hypocritical. Because if you really don't like us that much, then don't be bothered. Don't be bothered with our money. Don't be bothered trying to steal our culture and our inventions and our heritage and our talent and our art and music and dance and fashion. Just let it go. Leave it alone. Do your bland ass, dry ass potato salads that you throw raisins in and that kind of bullshit. Go ahead. You know, with your unseasoned food, with your bland tasting ass food. Go on over there with that. With your white nationalism and your hatred and your bigotry and all its forms, along with the misogyny and the sexism and the transphobia and all that hate, is to pit people against each other. So in the meantime, you can steal their money, that you can end all the programs. You can get rid of their health insurance, the health insurance for their children, themselves, their parents, their grandparents. Get rid of their health insurance, get rid of their housing vouchers, get rid of food assistance programs, free breakfast, free lunches, Pell Grants, all kind of subsidies for housing, rural hospitals, hospitals closing, all of that. Now, all of that. And where's all that money going? To Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and old boy Jeff Bezos. Elon Musk gets $8 million a day of taxpayer money if you are a taxpayer in America. If you got paid last Friday on the 1st and your check had FICA on it, some of that money that was in FICA that came out of your check that said FICA went to Elon Musk. A dude is worth over, what, 200 billion? He was up to 400 billion, and then people just, like in Europe, like they ain't even buying Teslas. They can't even give them away. I think the company lost like 90% drop in sales. But this dude is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, Elon Musk. But he's still getting subsidies. He's still getting a handout. And why with all the government contracts he's awarded, really? $8 million a day? So he needs a dude is worth hundreds of billions of dollars. He can't really live off that. So he need a tax break. We got to help him out. Come on, how can a dude live off $200-300 million? $8 million a day in tax breaks to support his companies of our taxpayer money. They kept I know they kept Tesla in business because Tesla was going broke until taxpayer dollars kept Tesla afloat. And I think the same for his company, Starlink, his company that makes these rockets that keep blowing up. First they were blowing up once they took off and got in the air. The last one, the rocket couldn't get off the launching pad. So his companies get $8 million a day in taxpayer money, our money, your money, my money. But he needs more money. Jeff Bezos needs more money. Mark Zuckerberg needs more money. But we need to take that money that we have been using to make sure that you and your children, your grandchildren, your parents and your grandparents, that money that we have been using for them to have health care, to have Medicaid, health insurance for their children who have asthma, or maybe they were born with a birth defect, or maybe they have epilepsy or a heart condition or juvenile diabetes. Like 40% of all the children in America are on some form of Medicaid. The majority of nursing homes in America that our parents and grandparents are in, that money comes from Medicaid for our seniors and elderly family members, or maybe those who are not like elderly yet, but maybe they get disability. And the Medicaid covers things like their oxygen for the people that depend and need oxygen every day to survive. People who sit at home and that have either the big oxygen tanks or the portable oxygen, or those that needed a wheelchair to get around. Medicare covers the cost of things like wheelchairs, oxygen, in-home nurses, in-home healthcare workers, people to come by and make meals and go to doctor's appointments with our parents and grandparents, to clean the house because they're not able to do it. All of that. Now, we're going to take that money. Y'all just ask out on your own. Because our boy Elon, he needs some more money. How the hell he going to live off a couple $100 million? Jesus, we only give him $8 million a day in like tax breaks, you know, government contracts. His companies, the two main ones, only get like $8 million a day from American taxpayers. That's not enough money. People ain't buying Teslas. And SpaceX is the company that makes these rockets that they can't get off the ground, or even when they get off the ground, they can't stay in the air too long. After a couple minutes, they blow up in midair, or like I said, the last one blew up on the launching pad. We're all we got. We're all we need, everybody. And we got everything we need. So, just like I talked about with the Essence Festival, a lot of the corporate dollars, Essence didn't see, because a lot of the corporate sponsors, they punked out, they panicked, they bitched out and was afraid of Orange Hitler's like, oh, you know, the president said that he wants to end all diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, so we can't give you any more money. We really love the Essence Festival. We're going to be there, but we can't give you any money. You love our culture, and everything our culture creates and provides. You love our culture, you love our creativity. Like I said, you love our art, music, fashion, dance, athletic talent, all of that. Our genius, our brilliance, but you don't like us. But you spend billions of dollars to get a suntan, to get darker, and to get bigger lips or a bigger ass. For these white women that's getting these butt implants so they can have behinds like black women naturally have. Some of y'all put perm in your hair so it'll look like mine. Make it make sense. Come on, y'all. Make it make sense. Doesn't make sense. Because the whole concept of racism and as they call it, white supremacy, which is really white inferiority. That's what it is, white inferiority. Because you feel inferior because you have bought into some bullshit. You have bought into a system that was made up by people who made it up to distract you so they could make sure that you didn't have the social, economic, and political power. That they could separate you from your money and your power, political power, and whatever power you had socially in the community. They want to dictate to you. They want to tell you, that you got to have babies. They want you barefoot and pregnant, and they don't want diversity, so we don't want these talented, brilliant black folks around us. We don't want to have to take orders, you have to work under some black, especially black women. They really trip. They ain't crazy about black men either, unless the black men are subservient, like Lawrence Taylor was at the White House, who was an embarrassment. And I love Lawrence. I loved him as a player. Man, he was all that. I can make an argument, the greatest defensive player. The argument between him and this guy named Reggie White, rest in power, Reggie White passed several years ago, a long time ago now. The two greatest defensive players in the history of pro football, Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White. Right there, Lawrence Taylor changed pro football. He was the baddest dude on the field. And then you bitch out and you get in front of cameras and look over to Orange Hitler and say, I'm here to serve you. Lawrence Taylor? Dude, are you high? Dude, what are you on? Did Elon Musk give you some ketamine? What are you smoking? Dude, you are Lawrence effing Taylor. You are LT. You are LMF&T. 56. You are Lawrence Taylor. And you looked at little Trump's bitch ass, and looked at him and said, I'm here to serve you. See, we're not going to be able to save everybody. Understand that when Dr. King was assassinated, if you looked at like a Gallup polls, the major polls, the majority of black people were not in favor of Dr. King trying to get civil rights and voting rights, fair housing. They weren't. He's a troublemaker. You're gonna piss off, you're gonna make them white folks mad. They're already mad. It's like a bully. If you try to appease a bully, if you think that if you're just nice and you act like a coward and you bend over, or you just take it and please. If you think you can appeal to any level of humanity or empathy or compassion or decency with a bully, that's bullshit. A bully only understands one thing. A bully only understands one thing. You got to get somebody up off of you, as I tell my daughters. Sometimes you got to get them up off of you. And the only thing a bully understands is when you get that bully up off of you. And if that means you got to break a nose or whatever, a throat chop or whatever, and I'm not sanctioning violence. Malcolm X said, we're not violent. We believe in self-defense, just like America does. That's what your Second Amendment is all about, right? Self-defense. So I advocate self-defense by any means necessary. As my grandfather, Conway Jones, taught me, never start a fight, but always end it. Now, don't start a fight, Jeannie, but make sure you finish it. So that's where we are. We're all we got, but we are all we need. We got everything we got. So I say, David Ellison, Skydance, since y'all don't believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion, just sell BET. BET Her and BET Plus, get rid of it. As a matter of fact, we'll take VH1 off your hands. Comedy Central, that's what it's about ownership. We've done, our ancestors did it. Our ancestors did it when they faced so much more. This is like Reconstruction Part 2. When the Civil War ended in 1865, really 63, 65 is when basically Texas, our ancestors in Texas realized like a year and a half later that the Civil War was over and they were freed. They were not enslaved. Then we had a period for about 12, 13, not even quite 15 years, Reconstruction from 65 to 1877. Black men, because women still couldn't vote, black men voted. Like 80%, like back during Reconstruction, black men voted. 80% of the black men who were eligible to vote voted. And they had positions of power. Even here in South Carolina, I think one of our earliest senators, U.S. senators, a black person, his name escapes me right now, I know I've talked about it. We elected him. And then 1877, then they remixed the game. They remixed it and changed it, and then all of a sudden, here come the Jim Crow laws. This is just Jim Crow Part 2. Abandoning all diversity, equity, and inclusion programs is exactly what Jim Crow was all about. They just didn't call it diversity, equity, and inclusion. It was called the Jim Crow laws to oppress black people. And that's where they're trying to go. But we ain't going. Hell no, we won't go. It's just not going to happen. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life as always. God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. God, most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. And thank you. Big shout out. We have a new sponsor to the Geno Jones Show. Welcomes a brand new sponsor, Kojo LLC. Courtney Johnson, the CEO of Kojo LLC. She is a real estate expert. She is also an expert in the insurance industry. Courtney Johnson will debut a brand new segment on Thursday called Courtney's Corner. So tomorrow, maybe more like a little introduction, but at least twice a month in Courtney's Corner. And if you have an idea, if you have a question for Courtney's Corner, you'll be able to reach out to me. You can, the show's interactive. You can leave a question in the chat room, leave a comment. You can leave your question in the comment section. You can shoot me an email, genojonesshow@gmail.com. So I'm excited. And once again, I want to thank Courtney Johnson and Kojo LLC for believing in the Geno Jones Show and what we are doing here, what I am doing, to use the entertainment and humor and the celebrity guest I have, to use that as like, that's the bait, that's the hook, that's the eye candy. You know, that's the nice little outfit in the window, the mannequin that's got the fly suit, or the mannequin that's got that really, really sexy dress, that fit that's just fire to get you to come in the store. And then when you come in the store, oh yeah, that's when we're gonna feed you. We're gonna feed you. We're gonna empower you. We're going to enlighten you. We're going to educate you. We're going to inspire you. We're going to be the wind beneath your wings. And we are going to come together because we are all we got. But we are all we need. And we got everything we need. Yes, we do. Right. So please, once again, I want to thank everybody. Once again, I'm about 105 new subscribers. So tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. That is my call to action, to spread the word. Post on social media. You can post a video. You can write a post. You can text. You can DM somebody. Say, listen, Geno just needs 105 new subscribers. He will become a YouTube partner. That means that his media company will get a check from YouTube every month. It is so important. You see what happened? You see what's happening with B.E.T.? So important. They suspended the Soul Train Awards and the B.E.T.Hip Hop Awards, which means the B.E.T. Awards are not far behind. Unfortunately, I'm promising you that. And I don't want that to happen, but that is how these colonizers, that's how these white nationalists, this movement of white nationalism, which I call white inferiority, they call white supremacy. It's an ideology that's based on skin pigmentation. That's the stupidest shit. And quote unquote white people are victims too, because y'all been lied to and brainwashed and think that your skin pigmentation makes you superior, but there's no evidence of that. When you look at all the time, well, you know, Europeans built, our enslaved ancestors built America. The Chinese built the railroad. We grew all kind of agriculture. We grew crops that your ancestors couldn't even grow, which is why our ancestors were captured and brought here. Not to mention all the great inventions that black people made, created, that were stolen, the culture, the art. So you want to have that conversation, this is the place to have it. Please bring your ass. But as the kids say, I'm going to call cap on your lies. That's what cap means. They say, I'm calling cap. That means they're calling you a lie. As my grandmother said, tell the truth. Jean Jones said, tell the truth, shame the devil. She said, Jeannie, the truth needs no defense. Not at all. Set the truth on the table, leave it right there and walk away. Because the truth don't change. People will try to change the truth and remix it and spin it, put their own ingredients in it, but the truth will stand on its own. The truth will always stand on its own. People will try to change what's true. So we tell the truth, shame the devil. Thank you, everybody. Once again, thank you to our new sponsor, Kojo LLC. Kojo LLC. I would love to have you as a sponsor, advertise on the show. Let me help you grow your business. We can grow together. Just shoot me an email, GenoJonesShow@gmail. GenoJonesShow@gmail. Shoot me an email, and I'll set up a meeting where we can talk, and I'll get you all the information in terms of sponsorship packages, advertising, and all of it. We can create your own segment like Courtney's Corner. Maybe you and your business or your service, we can create your own segment right here on the Geno Jones Show. Shout out to my academic all-stars. That's going to be a regular feature and segment on this show. As a matter of fact, because school is almost all the schools here in our area, the Charleston, South Carolina Metro, are back next week. The last two school districts will be back in school by next Wednesday. So 9 weeks, we'll have Geno's Academic All-Stars. I'm also going to do a segment, Where Are They Now? With my Academic All-Stars that like finished high school or finished college and pursuing their careers. So we got a lot of exciting things coming up, happening right here on the Geno Jones Show. But it's so important that we support Black-owned media. I need your financial support. It is so important to thrive, not just to survive, but to thrive and grow and partner up with you and have a platform where your voices and your genius and your gift and your businesses can have a platform and be in the spotlight and be highlighted and celebrated and poured into to help you grow. So it's so important that we support Black-owned media financially now more than ever. I guess just look at the story with B.E.T. and, you know, the new company said that they're going to suspend indefinitely, suspend the B.E.T. Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Music Awards. So your financial support is needed, and we are eternally grateful for your financial support. No amount is too small or too large. Okay, you can Zelle me. Use my email address, Geno Jones Show. That's how you spell it, Geno Jones Show @gmail. You can cash at me $Dad G Jones. That's all one word. capital D, lowercase a, lowercase d. Capital G, capital J, then lowercases, O-N-E-S. $Dad G Jones. So you can Zelle or cash app the show right now. I thank you in advance. I know some folks got paid Friday. You got some money left. But like I said, no amount is too large or too small. Spread the word. You can give everybody on social media, let them know to subscribe to my channel and support the show financially. Give them my cash app, $Dad G Jones. Give them my Zelle, Geno Jones Show @gmail. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I love you. We'll see you Thursday, the debut of a brand new segment called Courtney's Corner with Courtney Johnson, the CEO of Kojo LLC. You and me. Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles and Las Vegas, and everybody on the West Coast. I love you. Thank you for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.